Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. We're taking a look at the Ottawa Senators as their newly acquired starting goaltender, Matt Murray. There have been rumors that he could be the next captain of the Ottawa Senators. We'll be taking a look at that in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below, and let's take a look at Matt Murray potentially being the next captain of the Ottawa Senators. Alright, so just want to give a quick plug to our Instagram and Twitter handles at goalline_hockey. Links will be in the description down below, and make sure to check out our Patreon where we talk about we have weekly podcasts every Thursday night. Latest news around the league that past week. Make sure to check that out. All the links to all that will be in the description down below. Alright, so with that out of the way, Matt Murray. Matt Murray has been getting some love here from the Ottawa Senators. He gets acquired from the Pittsburgh Penguins. He gets a nice contract from the Ottawa Senators. And probably the most flattering thing toward Matt Murray is him being the next captain of the Ottawa Senators. So, let's take a look at that right now. So, Matt Murray. The timeline of Matt Murray in his tenure already with the Ottawa Senators. Let's go back a little bit. October 7th, 2020. So earlier this month. Matt Murray is acquired by Pierre Dorion, the Ottawa Senators GM, in a trade with Jim Rutherford and the Pittsburgh Penguins, in where the Pittsburgh Penguins acquired John Gruden and a 2020 Columbus second-round pick. In exchange, the Ottawa Senators pick up the starting goaltender, or at least the rights to starting goaltender, Matt Murray. So now they have the rights to Matt Murray, right? Then, a couple weeks later, Matt Murray signs a 4-year mega contract with the Ottawa Senators. 4 years, $25 million over those 4 years for Matt Murray. $6.25 million per season on the cap hit for the Senators. So Matt Murray's doing pretty solid, I would say, up there with the Ottawa Senators. And now, most recently today, there have been rumors and speculation that the Ottawa Senators may name their next captain sometime over the next couple of weeks. And there's a couple names you could throw out there for the Ottawa Senators. Thomas Chabot, right? He seems like a guy that's a big piece of this team. Colin White, Connor Brown, Brady Tkachuk. No. Matt Murray. Yes. Matt Murray, the goaltender of the Ottawa Senators, could be their next captain. Now, looking at the Ottawa Senators' history with captains, okay? Usually when you think of the captain of the Ottawa Senators, you don't think of Matt Murray. In most scenarios, probably not Matt Murray. You look at the history of captains in the Ottawa Senators' history. Larry Boschman, okay? Alexei Yashin, Randy Cunnyworth, Daniel Alfredson, Jason Spezza, and most recently, Erik Karlsson. And then Matt Murray, maybe. So you look at where they have been with their assistant captains, because they've not had a captain since 2018 when Erik Karlsson was traded that offseason, and since then they have not had a captain. Rightfully so, because any player, especially in Canada, being the captain, like we saw with Dion Phaneuf of the Toronto Maple Leafs a couple years back, the amount of abuse he took, it's probably better off that there isn't one single guy, one single captain during a rebuild, specifically in Eastern Canada. So you've had Bobby Ryan, Matt Duchene, Zach Smith, Jean-Gabriel Pageau and Mark Stone as your assistants. And most recently last season, it was Jean-Gabriel Pageau, Mark Borowiecki, and Ron Hainsey. Now, just to name all those guys that I just said, none of them are a part of the organization for the Ottawa Senators. Now including Bobby Ryan, who has since signed with Detroit. Borowiecki is a free agent. Ron Hainsey, I don't know where he is. He may still be in Ottawa. Is he? No, he is not. Okay, good to know. Matt Duchene is in Nashville. Pageau is with the Islanders. Mark Stone is with Vegas. So they're going to have a completely different look next year when it comes to captaincy. So now, not only am I asking the question of who will be the next captain of the Ottawa Senators, but even assistants. You need to have an assistant captain on your team. More likely, you're going to have 3 at a given time. So we're going to name a couple guys here who I think could have that potential. So, Connor Brown, he's 26 years old, has 3 years left on his contract. He'll be here for a little while. Maybe Connor Brown gets an A. Who else would be interesting? Colin White would be interesting. Brady Tkachuk would be interesting. I would give one to Thomas Chabot. I think he's another guy. And then Matt Murray. So that's why, we talk about how it's weird Matt Murray is getting the possibility of being the captain of this team, but you talk about an alpha leadership player in Ottawa. Who really has that, right? I mean, you could say maybe Tkachuk or Chabot. I think eventually Thomas Chabot will be the captain of the Ottawa Senators long term. And he just signed a big contract. He's there for the next 8 years. He's 23 years old. It makes logical sense. He is the replacement, dare I say, to Erik Karlsson up there in Ottawa as the best defenseman on the team. So why are they in a rush to possibly give that to Matt Murray? Now, there is no confirmation that Murray will be the captain of this team. I think a lot of it's more for the neon light that he could be the captain of the Ottawa Senators. And there's a possibility, if we know the Ottawa Senators, anything is a possibility. And in the year 2020, it becomes even more of a scenario where we at least question it. So it's kind of interesting that the Ottawa Senators would consider that. Matt Murray has played in the NHL for, this will be his 6th season in the NHL. He's played in 200 NHL games, and he has a decent amount of wins. He has 117 wins. Now, there were a couple years where Pittsburgh was really good, so that obviously helped him out a little bit. But Matt Murray is still 26, Thunder Bay, Ontario. He's from the somewhat local area, former third-round pick in 2012. Matt Murray, listen, he could be the next captain of the Ottawa Senators. Now, whenever we bring up captains as goaltenders, we always bring up my buddy Roberto Luongo. Now, maybe ask yourself, I hope you guys know who Roberto Luongo is. If you at least know him from the Florida Panthers, that's good. Because Roberto Luongo is the only, not even active anymore, the only goaltender to ever be the captain of a hockey team in the NHL. And that's not something you usually see. You know, it's something that it just usually doesn't work. And with the Vancouver Canucks, when he became the captain, it was definitely a weird scenario. It was one of those things where he was a really good goaltender. He was a really good, and I mean, he was playing with Corey Schneider, who was also a very good, reliable backup. So it made sense. He won, a lot of trophies. Vezinas, he was nominated for the Vezina, the Hart, the MVP of the year. I mean, he has been in the ringer, and we haven't seen that from Matt Murray too much. So it's, even then, it was considered weird. Now, if you want to look at another guy who was at least in the conversation for being a captain of his team, is look no further than New York Rangers former goaltender Henrik Lundqvist, as there were rumors back in the day that Henrik Lundqvist could be the captain of the New York Rangers. I think it made perfect sense. He was the backbone of that New York Rangers team back from, I'd say, 2010 to probably 2018. For about a decade, Henrik Lundqvist was the face of that franchise and was the backbone of the New York Rangers. And if you saw a lot of Ranger jerseys out in New York City, it was most likely number 30 jerseys. And it just made sense. So, Matt Murray, could he be the captain? There's a possibility, right? But I think more likely, I think they will wait another year or two, because we've seen guys, they've started to get that captaincy tag very early. You look at not Henrik Lundqvist, Sidney Crosby. Got it very young with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I think he was 20 or 21. Same kind of scenario for Connor McDavid, right? Right when he got into Edmonton, year 2, he was the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. And that's a big task, because you look at how, the history of the Edmonton Oilers, being the captain in a hockey market like Edmonton in particular, and the amount of pressure that has. Connor McDavid has handled that extremely well, but some guys just don't have that. Does Matt Murray have that up in Ottawa, which is a pretty big Canadian hockey market? I don't think so. Like I said, I think eventually it will be Thomas Chabot. If they do this right, they wait another year, Thomas Chabot will be 24, 25 years old, and he becomes the captain of your team. But when there's smoke, sometimes there's fire. And the fact that we are hearing that Matt Murray could be the captain of the Ottawa Senators, it leaves you wondering, how much further down the rabbit hole will the Sens go? So Sens fans, I know you guys are out there. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want to see Matt Murray as the captain of the Ottawa Senators, or would you like to see a guy like Brady Tkachuk or Thomas Chabot as the captain of the Ottawa Senators moving forward? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go Sens.